You won't believe how a simple ride changed his life. And hers. Noah was just a delivery man in London, struggling to pay his bills. Until one rainy night when a mysterious woman flagged him down for a ride. What started as a simple favor became a journey across time, a love story no one could ever explain. And in the end, $1 would be enough to change everything. Hit subscribe and tell us in the comments where you're watching from. Let's begin. It was one of those London nights. Cold, wet, and Noah had been riding his motorbike for 12 hours straight. Another delivery, another tip, barely enough for gas. He stopped at a red light, his hands frozen inside his gloves. That's when he saw her. A woman in a black coat, standing on the sidewalk. Her hair was soaked, her heels sinking into a puddle. She raised her hand, trying to stop a cab, but they all drove past her. Noah hesitated, then, "Are you all right?" he asked, pulling up next to her. The woman turned, her eyes locked on his. For a second, she looked surprised, almost afraid. I missed my taxi," she stammered. Her voice was soft, British accent, and something in her face. She looked lost. Noah took off his helmet. "It's a rough night to be out here alone." I know." She gave him a nervous smile. I need to get home." He glanced at the empty street. "Where do you live?" She opened her mouth, then closed it, looked around like she wasn't sure. She started, then shook her head. "Never mind." Noah gave a small laugh. "I'm not a creep. I'm Noah. I can give you a ride." She hesitated, looked him up and down. "Noah," she repeated, then whispered, "Of course it's you." Noah blinked. Sorry?" She snapped out of it. "Nothing. Thank you. That would be kind." He handed her a spare helmet from his bike's side case. "You have a passenger helmet?" she asked. "I've always had it, just never had anyone to use it." For the first time, she smiled, a soft, real smile. "I'm Victoria," she said, putting on the helmet. They rode in silence for a while. The city lights blurred as the rain kept falling. Noah tried not to stare at her reflection in the mirror, but there was something about her. "You're not from around here, are you?" he finally asked. Victoria laughed softly. I'm from a long way away." "How far?" She looked at him. 50 years. Noah laughed. "Right. Time traveler. Got it." Victoria didn't laugh. She just smiled at the road ahead. They stopped at a bridge overlooking the Thames. Victoria got off the bike. Noah followed. "Do you want to tell me the real story now?" he asked. Victoria leaned on the railing, watching the dark water. I'm not ready," she whispered. Noah stood beside her. "Fair enough," he said. "But you're not running from anyone, are you?" Victoria shook her head. "I'm running from myself." That hit him harder than he expected. "Yeah, I know how that feels," Noah said. Victoria looked at him. Her eyes softened. "You do?" "My parents died when I was 16. I've been raising my little brother and sister ever since, working 2 jobs. I guess I've been running too, trying to be something I'm not." Victoria nodded slowly. "You're more than you think, Noah." He gave her a half smile. "You don't even know me." "Maybe I do," she whispered. They stared at each other, and for a moment it felt like time itself stopped. The rain slowed. They sat on the bike again. "Where am I taking you?" Noah asked. Victoria hesitated, then said, "Hyde Park. There's a gate on the north side. I'll show you." As they drove, Noah glanced at her reflection in the mirror. "What are you really afraid of?"
he asked. She met his eyes in the mirror. Losing everything before I even have a chance to live. Noah didn't know why, but he believed her. They stopped at the iron gates of a mansion. Victoria took off her helmet. "This is me," she said. Noah looked at the towering house. "You live here?" Victoria nodded. "For now." Noah shook his head. "You really are something else." Victoria smiled sadly. "You have no idea." She reached into her coat and pulled out a small card. "Take this, in case you ever want to find me." Noah took it. Blank. Just her name. Victoria. No number. No address. He looked up, but she was already walking to the door. Noah opened his mouth but said nothing. She turned one last time. "Thank you, Noah, for the ride and for not asking too many questions." Noah gave her a crooked smile. "I'll save 'em for next time." Victoria's eyes sparkled. "I hope there's a next time." And then she was gone. Noah stared at the card. "Victoria," he whispered. Something told him this wasn't over. Not even close.
The next morning, Noah stared at the small white card on his kitchen table. Victoria. No phone number, no address, just her name. "What kind of person gives you a card like this?" his brother Max asked, munching on cereal. Noah shook his head. "The kind of person you don't forget." Max smirked. "So, a date?" "No." Noah picked up the card, flipping it over. "Not even close." By noon, Noah was back on his delivery route, but his mind kept drifting to her, to Victoria's words. "I'm running from myself." And the way she said, 50 years. He wasn't sure if it was a joke or if she really meant it. That night, he drove past the mansion again. Hyde Park's north gate. Same iron fences, same stone walls. It looked empty. No lights, no guards, no sign of life. He parked his bike and walked up to the gate. As he reached for the bell, looking for someone, Noah jumped. Victoria stood by the side entrance, a long black coat wrapped tight around her, hair loose, falling over her shoulders. I, I wasn't stalking you," Noah said. She smiled. "I was hoping you'd come." He raised an eyebrow. "Were you?" Victoria nodded. "Come inside." They walked through a side door into a huge marble hallway. It didn't look lived in, more like a museum. High ceilings, empty walls. Cold, quiet. Noah glanced around. "Where is everyone?" Victoria gave him a soft smile. "They're not here." Noah frowned. "You live here alone?" She nodded. "I don't belong here. This isn't really my home." Noah folded his arms. "All right, what's the deal, Victoria?" She looked him straight in the eyes. "I'm not supposed to be here, Noah." "You said that before, but what does it mean?" She swallowed hard. "I'm from this time." Noah blinked. "What?" "I'm from 2025. I was born there." Noah laughed once, nervously. "Victoria, this is London, 2075. You're saying you're 50 years older than me?" She smiled, but there was sadness in her eyes. "I'm exactly your age." Noah shook his head. "That's impossible." Victoria walked toward a glass cabinet. Inside, a strange-looking wristwatch. She picked it up. "This is how I got here," she whispered. Noah stared. "It was an experiment. Time travel." Her voice dropped. "It worked. Too well." He crossed his arms. "Okay, this is a joke, right?" Victoria walked up to him. "Touch it." Noah hesitated, then placed his hand on the watch. It was cold, but it pulsed, a soft hum like a heartbeat. What the hell? Victoria whispered. This watch took me 50 years into the future. Noah looked at her. And you've been stuck here since? She nodded. Why me? He asked. Victoria looked down. Because you look exactly like someone I knew. Someone I lost. Noah's throat tightened. A boyfriend? She shook her head. Not exactly. Then what? Victoria met his eyes. A man I was supposed to love. But I never got the chance. Noah didn't know what to say. They sat in the massive living room. Victoria poured them tea. You probably think I'm crazy, she said softly. Noah took a sip. I mean, I've met Max's ex-girlfriends. Victoria laughed, really laughed this time. You're not running from the police, right? No. From some crazy scientist? No. He leaned forward. Then what? Are you running from? Victoria's smile faded. My life. No one nodded slowly. I get that. Victoria looked at him. Do you? I've been running from mine, too, for years. They sat in silence. The clock on the wall ticked softly. Then Noah asked, Why tell me all this? Victoria took a deep breath. Because I think you're part of the reason I'm here. Noah froze. Me? Victoria nodded. I wasn't supposed to meet you. But now, I can't leave. Noah shook his head. That doesn't make any sense. Victoria whispered, Neither does time. He stood up. This is insane. Victoria stood too. I know it is. She stepped closer. But it's the truth. Noah searched her eyes. She wasn't lying. Or maybe she believed it so much it felt real. Victoria reached into her coat. She pulled out a folded piece of paper. This is for you. No one took it. Unfolded it. It was his name, Noah Carter, written in a delicate, familiar handwriting. Below it, today's date. And below that, you will help me go back. Noah looked up, eyes wide. What is this? Victoria whispered, It's your future. Noah stared at the paper, his name, the date, and those words, you will help me go back. He looked up at Victoria. What does this mean? Victoria sat down on the edge of a velvet couch. It means you're the key. To what? She sighed. To sending me back to my time. Noah shook his head. I don't know anything about time travel. I know, Victoria said gently, but somehow you're connected to this. Noah laughed, dry. That's ridiculous. Victoria stood up and walked closer. Is it? She whispered. How do you explain this? She took the piece of paper from him, turned it over, and on the back was a sketch. His face. Noah stared at it. That's me, he said slowly. Victoria nodded. I drew this 50 years ago, before I met you. Noah stepped back. That's impossible. I know. They stood in silence. Finally, Noah ran a hand through his hair. Let's say I believe you, just for a second. What do you expect me to do? Victoria's eyes softened. Stay with me. Help me find the person who built the device, the one who sent me here. Noah frowned. You mean you didn't build it? Victoria shook her head. No, I just pressed the wrong button. Noah blinked. Seriously? She nodded, biting her lip. That's insane. I know. Noah exhaled. And this person,
This scientist, where are they?" Victoria whispered, "I don't know." Noah gave a small laugh. "So, let me get this straight. You want me to stay with you, look for a mystery scientist with no name, no address, no idea if they even exist anymore?" Victoria smiled softly. "Exactly." Noah shook his head, but couldn't help smiling back. "You're crazy." "I know." They sat down again. Victoria poured him more tea. Noah looked at his hands. They trembled. "You're scared," he said quietly. Victoria met his eyes. "I'm terrified." Noah nodded slowly. "I'm in," he said. Victoria blinked. "You are?" "Why not?" Noah shrugged. "My life's a mess anyway." Victoria smiled. "Thank you." Noah raised his cup. "To crazy plans and impossible missions." Victoria clinked her cup with his. "To unexpected friends." That night, Noah stayed in the guest room. He couldn't sleep. The mansion was too quiet. He sat on the edge of the bed, staring at the card Victoria had given him. Victoria. Who was she really? And why did he feel like he already knew her? The next morning, they sat at the long breakfast table. Victoria pushed a folder across to him. "What's this?" Noah asked. "Everything I know about the man who built the device." Noah opened it. Photos, diagrams, handwritten notes. One photo caught his eye. A man in a lab coat, tall, dark hair. Noah frowned. "Who's this?" Victoria leaned forward. "Dr. Adrian Holt. He disappeared in 2025, right after the experiment." Noah read the caption under the photo. "Last seen in London, October 2025. He looked at Victoria. "And you think he's still alive?" Victoria whispered, "I think he might be here in 2075. Noah exhaled. "And what's the plan?" Victoria gave him a determined look. "We find him, and he sends me back." Noah leaned back in his chair. "That's simple, huh?" Victoria gave him a half smile. "Nothing about this is simple." They spent the day searching online archives. Noah hacked into a few restricted databases. Victoria watched him, amused. "You're full of surprises," she said. Noah smirked. "Gotta make a living." By sunset, they had nothing. No trace of Dr. Holt, no records, no sightings. Noah leaned back, rubbing his face. "This guy's a ghost." Victoria nodded, her shoulders something. "Maybe we're too late," she whispered. Noah looked at her, and for the first time, she looked truly hopeless. He reached across the table, touched her hand. "Hey, we'll find him. You're not alone in this, okay?" Victoria met his eyes. For a moment, she looked like she believed him. That night, as Noah got ready for bed, there was a soft knock at his door. "Come in," he said. Victoria stepped inside, wearing a simple sweater and jeans. I just wanted to say thank you," she said quietly. Noah stood by the window. "You don't have to thank me. I do." They stood there, the silence thick between them. Then Victoria whispered, "Do you ever feel like you've met someone before?" Noah met her gaze. "Yeah, right now." Victoria smiled softly. She stepped closer. "Good night, Noah." "Good night, Victoria." She turned to leave, but hesitated, and for a moment, Noah thought she would stay. But she walked away, closing the door gently behind her. Noah stared at the door, his heart beating faster than it should.
The next morning, Noah woke up to the sound of knocking. He sat up, rubbing his eyes. "Yeah?" Victoria opened the door, holding 2 cups of coffee. "I thought you might need this," she said with a soft smile. Noah grinned. "You're officially my favorite time traveler." She chuckled. "I'm your only time traveler." They sat by the window, watching the quiet London street below. "So, Noah sipped his coffee. What's the plan today? Victoria's smile faded. We keep looking. Noah nodded. All right, let's find this ghost of a scientist. They spent the morning searching archives again. Newspapers, government files, private databases. Nothing. At noon, Noah slammed his laptop shut. This guy didn't just disappear. It's like he never existed. Victoria stared at her screen. Or someone erased him. Noah looked at her. What do you mean? Victoria leaned back. If Adrian Holt was part of a classified experiment, maybe they wiped everything. Noah frowned. Government cover-up? Victoria nodded. Maybe. They took a break in the mansion's garden. Victoria walked barefoot on the grass. Noah followed, hands in his pockets. You know, Noah, you're not exactly what I expected. Victoria looked over her shoulder. What did you expect? He smirked. A rich girl who never talked to a delivery guy. Victoria gave him a playful look. And what makes you think I'm rich? Noah raised an eyebrow. This house. She laughed. It's not mine. Whose is it, then? She looked away. Long story. Noah stepped closer. I've got time. Victoria met his eyes. I was supposed to marry the man who owns this house. Noah froze. Wait, what? Victoria nodded. Back in 2025, it was arranged. Business deal. Noah's mouth opened. So you ran away? Victoria smiled sadly. I ran and ended up 50 years ahead. They sat on a bench beneath an old oak tree. Noah glanced at her. Did you love him? Victoria shook her head. I didn't even know him. Noah studied her face. There was something fragile beneath her calm, and for the first time he wondered, how much had she really lost? They sat in silence for a long time. Then Victoria said, Thank you for not judging me. Noah smiled. I've got no right to judge anyone. Victoria looked down at her hands. I just wanted to be free. Noah nodded. I get that. Later that afternoon, they returned to their search. Noah checked an old social network database. A name popped up. Adrian Holt. He clicked. One post. From 50 years ago in 2025. Noah leaned forward. Victoria, look at this. She hurried over. On the screen, time is a circle. We are the echo of our own mistakes. Adrian Holt. Noah read it out loud. Victoria whispered, I've seen that before. Noah frowned. Where? Victoria stepped back thinking. My father's study. He had this written on a page in his journal. Noah stared. Your father knew Adrian Holt? Victoria met his eyes. I think he was part of it. They raced to Victoria's study. She pulled open drawers, flipped through books. Noah searched the shelves. Then, here! Victoria shouted. She held up an old leather journal. On the first page, Property of Charles Knight. Noah opened it. Dozens of notes, diagrams, equations. And on the last page, that same quote. Time is a circle. We are the echo of our own mistakes. Noah whispered, Your father was working with Holt. Victoria looked at him with fear in her eyes. What if he helped create the device? Noah frowned. Then he might have known how to control it. Victoria sank into a chair. My father died before I left, she said quietly. Noah sat next to her. I'm sorry. She nodded. I never got to say goodbye. Noah touched her hand. You didn't just run away, did you? He asked softly. Victoria shook her head. No, I think I was running from the truth. They sat together for a long time. Finally, Noah said, "We need to find out everything your father knew." Victoria nodded. Yes. That night, they sat on the floor, papers spread around them. Victoria leaned her head against Noah's shoulder. "I'm glad you're here," she whispered. "Me too." She closed her eyes. "I don't want to go back alone." Noah looked at her, heart pounding. "You won't," he said softly. "I'll go with you." Victoria reached for his hand. Their fingers brushed, and in that moment, time didn't feel so impossible. The next morning, Noah woke up on the floor of the study. Victoria sat cross-legged beside him, flipping through her father's journal. "You didn't sleep?" Noah asked, stretching. She shook her head. "I couldn't." Noah sat up. "Find anything?" Victoria pointed to a scribbled note at the bottom of a page. "Echo code. The initials hold the key." Noah read it aloud. "The initials hold the key?" Victoria nodded. "What does that even mean?" Noah leaned closer. "Maybe it's a name." Victoria thought for a moment. "Echo. Could be an acronym?" Noah smirked. "Or maybe your dad was into weird riddles." Victoria gave him a playful glare. Not helping. They spread the journal pages across the floor. Every entry, every diagram. Victoria traced her finger over a list of names. Adrian Holt, Charles Knight, Oliver Drake. Noah tapped the names. A, H, C, K, O, D. Victoria's eyes widened. A, H, O, D. Adrian Holt, Oliver Drake. Noah whispered. "The initials hold the key." Victoria leaned in. "But what key?" Noah rubbed his chin. "Could be locations? Codes?" Victoria scanned the list again. "Look here. All their last known addresses are listed." Noah blinked. "Wait, your father kept addresses of his partners?" Victoria nodded. "He was paranoid. Always said, 'Keep your friends close, your partners closer.'" Noah smirked. "Your dad sounds intense." Victoria smirked. "You have no idea." Noah grabbed a notepad. "All right, let's make a list." They wrote down Adrian Holt, last seen, East London. Oliver Drake, last seen, Cambridge. Charles Knight, deceased. Noah underlined Adrian's name, East London. "That's not far." Victoria looked at him. "You want to go now?" Noah met his eyes. "Let's go." They got on Noah's motorbike. The morning air was crisp. Victoria held on tight as they sped through the city streets. Noah glanced back. "You okay?" Victoria nodded. "It feels real now." Noah smiled. "Adventure's always real when you're scared." Victoria squeezed his waist. "Then this must be the realest thing I've ever done." They arrived at a quiet neighborhood in East London. Old brick houses, narrow streets. Victoria checked the address. "That one," she said, pointing to a worn-down townhouse. They walked up the steps. Noah rang the bell. No answer. He tried again. Still nothing. Victoria looked at him. "What now?" Noah shrugged. "We knock louder." He banged on the door. A voice shouted from inside. "Who's there?" Noah called out. "We're looking for Adrian Holt." Silence. Then, the door cracked open. An old man peeked out. White hair, sharp eyes. "I haven't heard that name in years." Noah glanced at Victoria. She stepped forward. "We need to speak with him." The old man narrowed his eyes. "Why?" Victoria hesitated. "It's about the project and the device." The man's expression changed. He opened the door wider. "Come in." Inside, the house was packed with books and strange machines. Blueprints covered the walls. The man waved them to a small sitting area. Name's Oliver Drake, and Adrian's dead. Victoria froze. What? Oliver nodded. Died 40 years ago. Noah frowned. But how? Oliver leaned back. We tried to stop the project. Adrian, he didn't want to let go. He went too far. Victoria whispered. So he's gone? Oliver nodded. I buried him myself. They sat in stunned silence. Noah finally spoke. But the device, can you help? Oliver's eyes softened. I don't know if I can help. Victoria leaned forward. Please, you're our only chance. Oliver studied her face. You look familiar. Victoria met his eyes. You knew my father, Charles Knight. Oliver blinked. Charles, of course. He shook his head. I never thought I'd meet his daughter. They talked for hours. Oliver told them about the experiments, how they tried to control time and failed, how Adrian got obsessed and disappeared into his own machine. Oliver looked at Victoria. Your father wanted to protect you. That's why he stopped everything. Victoria whispered. He never told me. Oliver smiled sadly. He wanted you safe. As they got up to leave, Oliver handed Noah a small device, a metal cube with strange symbols. What's this? Noah asked. Oliver met his eyes. Insurance. Victoria frowned. Insurance? Oliver nodded. If things go wrong, this might help you get back. Noah turned the cube over in his hands. It felt warm. What does it do? Oliver smiled. You'll know when you need it. Back outside, Victoria slipped her hand into Noah's. They walked in silence. Finally, she whispered, Thank you for coming with me. Noah squeezed her hand gently. I'm not going anywhere. Victoria smiled. Good. They walked toward the bike, but something lingered in the air between them. Something neither of them dared to say. Yet.
Back at the mansion, Noah placed the strange metal cube on the table. Victoria stared at it. Do you trust him? Noah shrugged. He seemed honest. Victoria crossed her arms. That doesn't mean he's not hiding something. Noah met her eyes. You think Oliver lied? Victoria sighed. I think he told us what we needed to hear. Noah sat down beside her. You still think Adrian Holt is alive? Victoria nodded slowly. Yes, somehow. They spent the evening studying the cube. It had no buttons, no openings, just smooth metal, cool to the touch. Noah tapped it gently. Looks like a paperweight. Victoria smiled faintly. Or a bomb? Noah chuckled. Great, that's comforting. By midnight, they gave up on the cube. They sat on the balcony, overlooking the quiet city. Noah leaned back in his chair. Why me, Victoria? She turned toward him. What do you mean? Why did you choose me, out of everyone you could have asked for help? Victoria looked into his eyes. I didn't choose you. Noah frowned. Thanks. She smiled softly. I mean, it wasn't a choice. I felt like I knew you. Noah tilted his head. From where? Victoria whispered. I wish I knew. They sat in silence for a while. Then Noah said, Do you ever think maybe this is fate? Victoria gave him a curious look. You believe in fate? Noah shrugged. I believe some things aren't accidents. Victoria leaned her head on his shoulder. Maybe you're right. Noah whispered, Maybe we're both wrong. She smiled. Either way, I'm glad I met you. Noah closed his eyes. Me too. The next morning, Max showed up at the mansion. Noah opened the door. Max? His brother grinned. Hey, you weren't answering your phone. Noah sighed. I've been busy. Max peeked inside. Busy with her? Noah rolled his eyes. Max, this is Victoria. Victoria appeared behind Noah, offering a polite smile. Nice to meet you. Max blinked. Whoa, you're real. Victoria raised an eyebrow. I get that a lot. They sat in the living room. Max sipped tea, staring between them. So, you're a time traveler? Max asked. Victoria smiled. Something like that. Max looked at Noah. Are you serious? Noah nodded. It's complicated. Max leaned back. I leave you alone for 2 days and you end up in a sci-fi movie. Noah smirked. Pretty much. Victoria explained everything. The device, the accident, Adrian Holt. Max listened without interrupting. Finally, he said, And you want to find him? To send her back? Noah nodded. That's the plan. Max scratched his head. You guys are insane, Victoria smiled. We know. Max stood up. I'm in. Noah blinked. What? Max grinned. Sounds fun. Besides, you'll need me when everything goes wrong. Noah shook his head. You're crazy. Max winked. Runs in the family. They spent the afternoon making a plan. Step 1, find anyone who might have known Adrian Holt. Step 2, search old lab locations. Step 3, don't die. Max pointed at the cube. And what's this supposed to do? Noah shrugged. We don't know yet. Max tapped it. Looks like a very fancy doorstop. Victoria smiled faintly. Or a bomb? Max chuckled. Great, that's comforting. That evening they split up. Max went to check old university records. Noah and Victoria headed to a lab address they found in Oliver's notes. It was in South London, an abandoned warehouse hidden behind a row of factories. They stood outside the rusted gate. Noah looked at Victoria. Ready? She nodded. Let's do this. They pushed the gate open. Inside, silence, broken glass, dust. But Noah froze. Footsteps. They ducked behind a stack of crates. He whispered, Did you hear that? Victoria nodded. We're not alone. They peeked around the corner. A man in a dark coat walked through the shadows. Tall, moving fast. Noah whispered, Is that? Victoria gasped softly. Adrian Holt! They followed him. Through dark corridors, down a metal staircase, into a basement filled with old machines. Adrian stopped at a table. He placed something on it. A small silver device. It pulsed with a soft blue light. Victoria's hand shot out, grabbing Noah's arm. That's the original prototype, she whispered. Noah's heart pounded. What do we do? Victoria met his eyes. We take it, Noah whispered. You mean steal it? Victoria nodded. We have no choice. Adrian turned away for a moment. Noah moved silently, step by step. Victoria followed him. They were inches from the table when, going somewhere? Noah spun around. Adrian stood behind them, his eyes sharp, his voice cold. Victoria froze. Noah's mind raced. And then Adrian smiled. I've been expecting you.
Noah stood frozen. Victoria stood beside him, her eyes wide. Adrian Holt smiled, slow and calm. I've been waiting for you. Noah's heart pounded. You know us? Adrian nodded. I know everything about you. Victoria took a shaky breath. Then you know why we're here. Adrian tilted his head. You want me to send you back? Victoria's voice trembled. Yes. Adrian stepped closer. And why would I do that? Noah stepped in front of Victoria. Because she doesn't belong here. Adrian laughed softly. No one does. They stood in tense silence. Finally, Victoria whispered, Please, you built the device. You can help me. Adrian stared at her. I built the first device, yes. He pointed at the small, glowing prototype on the table. But that is not meant for going back. Noah frowned. Then what is it for? Adrian smiled coldly. To erase mistakes.
Victoria stepped back. What? Adrian picked up the device, rolling it between his fingers. Time travel isn't about fixing the past. It's about correcting the future. Noah shook his head. That makes no sense. Adrian met his eyes. It will. Victoria stepped forward. I didn't ask for this. I didn't want any of it. Adrian's smile faded. And yet, here you are. Victoria's hands trembled. I want my life back. Adrian leaned in. Do you, or are you just afraid to face it? Victoria swallowed. What do you mean? Adrian whispered. You didn't run from an arranged marriage. You ran from yourself. Noah clenched his fists. Enough! Adrian smiled. Truth hurts, doesn't it? Victoria's voice dropped. What are you planning to do with that device? Adrian turned it over in his hand. I'm going to reset everything. Erase all the mistakes, including you. Noah stepped forward. Over my dead body. Adrian met his eyes unblinking. That can be arranged. Suddenly, footsteps behind them. Max burst through the door. Noah, watch out! Adrian spun around. Max tackled him to the ground. The device flew from Adrian's hand. It hit the floor and started glowing brighter. Noah ran for it. Victoria dove with him. They grabbed the device together. Noah shouted, What now? Victoria screamed, Run! They sprinted up the stairs. Adrian's voice echoed behind them. You can't escape me. Noah and Victoria burst into the street, Max right behind them. They jumped on the motorbike. Victoria wrapped her arms around Noah's waist. Go! She yelled. Noah hit the gas. They raced through the dark streets of London. Max clung to the back of the bike. What the hell was that? He shouted. Noah shouted back, I'll explain later. Victoria clutched the device tight in her hands. It's glowing, she yelled. Noah swerved through traffic. Is that bad? Victoria looked at the soft blue light pulsing faster. I don't know. They stopped at a quiet alley. All three jumped off the bike. Noah looked at Victoria. What now? Victoria shook her head. I don't know. I don't know. Max bent over, catching his breath. That guy is insane. Noah nodded. Yeah, but we've got this. He pointed at the cube. Victoria whispered, We don't even know what it does. Noah gave a half smile. Guess we'll find out. Suddenly, the cube flashed. A soft hum filled the air, and then a voice. Not Adrian's, a soft, calm voice from the cube. Ready for transfer. Victoria gasped. Did you hear that? Noah nodded. Oh, I heard it. Max stared. That thing talks? Victoria? Victoria looked at Noah. What do we do? Noah met her eyes. We choose. Victoria took a deep breath. She pressed her thumb against the side of the cube. The voice spoke again. Input destination. Victoria whispered, 2025. The cube pulsed. Confirm. Victoria looked at Noah. He nodded. Do it. She whispered, confirm. A soft light surrounded them. Max stepped back. Guys! The alley around them began to blur. Noah reached for Victoria's hand. She grabbed his tight. Noah shouted, Max! Max yelled, I'm not leaving you. Then everything turned white. The world dissolved, and they were gone.
The world came back with a shock. Noah hit the ground hard. Victoria landed beside him, coughing. Max crashed down on top of both of them. Ow! Max groaned. Why am I always the last one down? Noah sat up, blinking at the bright sunlight. They weren't in the alley anymore. They were standing in the middle of a busy street. Cars, people, horns. But everything looked different. The air smelled fresher. The buildings were newer. Noah looked around. This isn't 2075. Victoria stared ahead, her face pale. It's London, but not ours. Max got to his feet. Okay, somebody tell me where we are. Victoria swallowed. I think we're in 2025. They moved quickly off the street before someone hit them. In a quiet alley, Noah checked his watch. The date read October 3rd, 2025. Noah showed it to Victoria. She nodded slowly. It worked. Max rubbed his head. Wait, so we time traveled? For real? Victoria smiled weakly. Looks like it. Max let out a nervous laugh. Okay, that's insane. Noah looked at Victoria. Is this your time? Victoria met his eyes. Yes, this is my home. They walked through the streets. Victoria stared at everything like it was both new and familiar. Noah watched her carefully. You okay? Victoria nodded. I thought I'd never see this again. Max leaned in. So what now? Victoria took a deep breath. Now we find a way to fix this. Noah frowned. Fix what? Victoria looked at him. You don't belong here. Noah blinked. What? Victoria's voice softened. Noah, you're from 2075. You're not supposed to be here. Noah stared at her. Neither are you. Victoria nodded. I know. They stopped in front of a small cafe. Victoria sat at a table outside, staring at the people passing by. Noah sat across from her. Max went inside to get them coffee. Noah leaned in. Victoria, do you want to go back? Victoria looked down. I don't know. Noah reached for her hand. Why not? She met his eyes. Because I don't know if I want the life I left. Noah whispered, Do you want me to stay? Victoria froze. Their hands touched, things brushing. But before she could answer, a voice spoke from behind them. Well, isn't this a surprise? Noah turned around. A man in a dark suit stood there, tall, confident. His eyes locked on Victoria. Hello, darling. Victoria's face went pale. Marcus, she whispered. Noah stood up fast. Who's this? Victoria stood up too, her voice tight. My fiancé. Noah's jaw clenched. The one you ran from? Marcus smiled. The one she was promised to. Victoria took a step back. I'm not yours. Marcus tilted his head. We'll see about that. Marcus walked out of the cafe holding 3 cups of coffee. He stopped when he saw Marcus. What did I miss? Noah didn't take his eyes off Marcus. Victoria whispered, He's dangerous. Marcus smiled. Come now, Victoria. Let's not make a scene. Noah stepped between them. She said no. Marcus's eyes darkened. And are you? Noah stared him down. The man who's not afraid of you. Marcus chuckled. I could make you disappear. Noah smirked. You can try. Marcus leaned in. Be careful, boy. You don't know who you're dealing with. Noah leaned closer. Neither do you. Victoria grabbed Noah's arm. Let's go. Noah didn't move. Marcus whispered, He'll regret this. Victoria pulled Noah away. Max followed close behind. They rounded a corner and ducked into an alley. Victoria leaned against the wall, shaking. Noah stood beside her. Max asked, Who the hell was that guy? Victoria whispered, He's the reason I ran. Noah frowned. What does he want? Victoria looked at him. Control, power, me. Noah clenched his fists. Not going to happen. Victoria gave him a small smile. Thank you. They walked in silence for a while. Max finally said, So what's the plan now? Victoria took a deep breath. We lay low, figure out how to get you back before Marcus finds us. Noah nodded. Sounds good. Max added, and maybe figure out what this thing does. He pointed to the cube, still in Noah's jacket. Noah pulled it out. It glowed softly. Victoria stared at it. It brought us here. Maybe it can take you back. Noah looked at her. What about you? Victoria whispered, I don't know yet. As the sun set, they found a cheap motel. 3 rooms, side by side. Victoria stood in the hallway with Noah. She hesitated. I'm glad you're here. Noah smiled softly. I'm glad you're safe. Victoria touched his hand. For a moment, they just stood there. Then Victoria whispered, Good night, Noah. He whispered back, Good night, Victoria. But as they turned away, a shadow moved across the street, watching, waiting.
Noah didn't sleep. He sat on the edge of the motel bed, staring at the glowing cube in his hands. It pulsed with a soft blue light, steady, almost like a heartbeat. He whispered, What are you trying to tell me? A soft knock on the door. Noah? Victoria's voice. He opened the door. She stood there in jeans and a sweater, her hair loose. I couldn't sleep, she said softly. Me neither, Noah replied. She gave him a small smile. Walk with me? They walked through the empty streets of London. The air was cool, the sky dark. Victoria wrapped her arms around herself. Noah glanced at her. Are you scared? Victoria nodded. Yes. Noah asked, Of Marcus? She shook her head. Of losing everything. Again. Noah stopped. You won't lose me. Victoria met his eyes. Promise? Noah placed a hand over his heart. I swear. They sat on a bench near the river. Victoria stared at the water. I always thought I was running from my father, from Marcus, from the life they planned for me. Noah asked softly. But she looked at him. I was running from myself. Noah didn't speak. Victoria continued. I thought if I escaped, I'd be free, but you can't escape who you are. Noah reached for her hand. Maybe you don't have to escape. Maybe you just need to stop running. Victoria whispered, I don't know how. Noah smiled gently. Start with staying. They sat in silence for a moment. Then Victoria asked, What about you? Noah blinked. What about me? She turned to him. Do you want to go back? Noah exhaled. I have Max, my siblings, my life. Everything I've built is in 2075. Victoria nodded. And yet you're here. Noah gave a grip smile. Yeah, I'm here. Victoria whispered, Why? Noah met her eyes. Because you're here. Their eyes locked. The world felt quiet. Victoria leaned closer. Noah did too. But before their lips met, a voice broke the moment. Well, isn't this touching? They turned. Marcus stood at the end of the path. Two men in dark suits flanked him. Victoria stood up fast. Marcus! Marcus smiled coldly. Did you really think you could hide from me? Noah stepped between them. Stay away from her. Marcus smirked. Or what? Noah clenched his fists. Try me. Marcus gave a small nod. His men stepped forward. Victoria shouted, No! But the men rushed at Noah. Noah fought hard. He dodged a punch, blocked a hit. He threw one of the men to the ground, but the second grabbed him from behind. Victoria grabbed the glowing cube from Noah's jacket. She held it up. Back off, she shouted. The men froze. Marcus laughed. What are you going to do? Throw it at me? Victoria's hands shook. I'll use it. Marcus stepped closer. You don't even know how. Noah broke free and stood beside her. He whispered, Do you? Victoria met his eyes. I think I do. Noah nodded. Then do it. Marcus took another step. Victoria pressed her thumb against the cube. A soft hum filled the air. Marcus's smile faded. What? A flash of light exploded from the cube. The men fell back, covering their eyes. Marcus stumbled. Noah grabbed Victoria's hand. Now! They ran. They raced through the streets. Max appeared from a corner. What's happening? Noah shouted. We don't have time. Run!
They ducked into a train station. Victoria clutched the cube close. Noah grabbed her shoulders. "Are you okay?" Victoria nodded, breathing hard. I think I unlocked it." Max blinked. "What are you unlocked?" Victoria whispered, "The portal." A soft glow appeared around them. The cube pulsed in her hand. Victoria met Noah's eyes. "I can take you back," Noah whispered. "What about you?" Victoria's voice trembled. I don't know if I can come with you." Max asked, "What about me?" Victoria gave him a soft smile. "All of us or none?" Noah looked at her. "You'll come?" Victoria whispered, "I want to." Marcus's voice echoed through the station. "Victoria, you can't run forever." Victoria closed her eyes. Noah squeezed her hand. "We do this together." Victoria opened her eyes. Together. The cube glowed brighter. The world around them began to shift. Max shouted, "It's happening!" Noah pulled Victoria close. Victoria whispered, "Hold on!" In the distance, Marcus ran toward them, but it was too late. The light swallowed them whole, and they were gone.
The light faded. Noah opened his eyes. They were back in London, but it wasn't 2025 anymore. He looked around. The skyline, the cars, the air. It was 2075. They were home. Victoria stood beside him, her hand still gripping his. Max stumbled, looking around. "We made it?" Noah nodded. "We made it." Victoria let out a shaky breath. Max laughed. "Okay, that was insane." They walked to the nearest street. Everything was just as they left it, but somehow it all felt different. Later that night, they sat on the rooftop of the mansion. Victoria stared at the city lights. Noah sat beside her. Max sat nearby drinking soda. Victoria whispered, "I never thought I'd be back." Noah said softly, "You're not alone now." Victoria turned to him. "Neither are you." Max raised his can. "To crazy plans." Noah raised his. "To impossible missions." Victoria smiled and raised hers. "To friends who became family." They clinked cans and laughed. As the night got quieter, Victoria leaned her head on Noah's shoulder. "I don't want to lose this," she whispered. "You won't?" Noah said. Victoria looked at him. "What happens now?" Noah smiled. "We live." The next morning, Noah checked his bank account. He stared at the screen in shock. Max walked in. "What's up?" Noah turned the screen toward him. It showed $50 million. Max's jaw dropped. "Is that real?" Noah blinked. "Victoria left me a gift." Victoria walked into the room. She smiled softly. "I told you you'd understand later." Noah stood up. "How?" Victoria walked closer. "A long time ago, I invested $1 in your name." Noah shook his head in disbelief. "Why?" Victoria looked into his eyes. "Because I knew you'd need it, and because I wanted you to have a future." Noah hugged her tight. Max grinned. "I knew there was a reason I liked you." Victoria laughed. "It's not about the money, it's about what you'll do with it." Noah nodded. "I'll take care of my family, fix the house, pay for Max's studies." Max blinked. "Wait, really?" Noah smirked. "Yeah, and maybe I'll even buy you that stupid motorcycle you always wanted." Max cheered. "Yes!" That evening, Noah and Victoria stood in the garden. The sky was golden with sunset. Victoria held his hand. "I don't know what tomorrow brings," she said. Noah smiled. "That's the best part." She leaned her head on his shoulder. "I came looking for a way back, and I found something better." Noah whispered, "Me?" Victoria smiled. "Us." They stood there, in silence. No more running, no more fear, just them. But across the street, a man watched from the shadows, a familiar face.
Marcus. His eyes narrowed. "This isn't over," he whispered. And then he disappeared into the night. Some journeys aren't meant to change the past, but to build a future. Victoria ran from her fate. Noah risked everything for a woman from another time, and together they rewrote their story. But in life and in love, some choices follow you forever. Is this the real ending, or just the beginning? If you believed in their story, hit subscribe and tell us in the comments, would you risk everything for love, even against time itself? Thank you for watching.